Hello everybody, this is JHancho bringing you Game 2 of my series versus Dyno in the round of 8 of the first Flatline tournament. This one is on Metalopolis featuring Dyno again, sporting orange, and we are again going to be on close spawns. And we had some chatter over here, and good luck. I think he was surprised that he won. I think that was part of the discussion that we had. And you know what? Any given moment, anybody can win, and I think that that's the kind of lesson you learn, especially from the results and progress of the second Flatline tournament. We've seen that a lot of things can happen, perhaps that you're not expecting. But I'm going to be continuing to do a little bit, and let's look at my pro micro here. 150 APM, super spammy, just kind of scouting that my opponent is there, making sure he doesn't see me, and getting my Overlord out. But we're going to see some more standard play from me, and hopefully I can sneak in a fast expand, seeing that he's not super aggressive at this point. But he is going to be walling off sensibly from a Zerg player. I could have tried some cheese, a 6-pull or something like that, try and get back in it. I did not do that. So we'll see how the game develops. But right now, Dyno cutting probes to maybe make an earlier refinery, and this kind of thing is a little bit interesting. I think we'll be able to get enough for a tech lab once the barracks finishes, because of the difference in build times between the refinery and the barracks. But interesting, usually you wait till 13 to get it. I'm just going to be doing a similar thing. It looks like I was a little bit late on the gas, but that's okay. I should be putting down an expansion soon, I hope. But I'm probably going to be populating my gas. Look at that, nice. As soon as it's up, he is going to be walling off completely. I do know where my opponent is, I just don't know what my opponent is doing, and that's the big issue, of course. And especially for Zerg, even in close positions, if you have to move your Overlord out, you're in a disadvantage. Some potential patch notes that I read, and I hope this is true, but at the same time, some other changes don't feel quite right. I'm going to be throwing down a Ro8 right now, but one of the things that was on the patch notes is Overlord speed being doubled without the upgrade, and then added to with the upgrade to 3.14. So they're really, really quick. I think they're quicker than Medevacs and Rivals Phoenix or something like that. It's retarded. I don't think that it's the actual one, the actual patch notes, but they've been circulating around. So I'm hoping to some degree that this is the case. Look at this. He is scouting out. He will find me last, but again, it is a tough pill to swallow. It looks like I'm going to be doing a little bit of roach play here. We do have one in production. I need another Overlord to pop out before I can use the larva spit that's coming. And this is kind of a tried and true method. It's not an all-in per se. You just use all your production for a little bit. It's like upgrading to an orbital command for a Terran. You have to realize this potential and realize that you have to be in a better position to use it, but even at that, you have to make sure that you do damage with it, because you are sacrificing a ton of drones here to get out this early roach rush. But we do see him rushing for a starport. He only has 2 Marines out, starting his second racks now, factory fallow, as he's waiting for this to swap with the tech lab. He lifts off in anticipation, gets it out of the way, so it's only one less thing to worry about once it comes up. Saving a little bit of energy on his orbital, not making SCVs at this point. Unit-wise, he is still ahead because, again, these roaches taking a wide berth to avoid any unwelcome free shots. But we do have a Banshee probably on the way. There we are. Banshees, of course, very, very tough for a Zerg to deal with. I'm now just starting my lair. By starting, I mean it's halfway done. These roaches, 6 of them, I believe, will be scurrying up the ramp after they form up, and they will be attacking in tandem on the supply depot. I don't know why they're getting split up, but it looks like Dyno gonna be able to get this Banshee out before anything really bad happens to him. But I'm just gonna come here, do what I can. It looks like one roach went down to just Marines. I try to micro that away and fail miserably. And now I'm having a change of heart. I'm like, I don't want Marauders, but at the same time I'm like, I don't want Banshees. So he's going to be, let's see, where did he move that Banshee? It looks like he's just going to be working on that. No more Banshees out quite yet. And even though the Banshees are extraordinary against ground, it looks like I just decided to abandon that and do some economic damage. Dyno retreats, gets more Marauders out, and you can see that I was a little bit confused and flustered as to what I should do. I was like, oh, Banshees, gotta get rid of Banshees. And in fact, I do a lot less damage than I should have. Should have taken out this tech lab to make sure Marauders weren't coming out. I could have taken out this tech lab much easier and prevented future Banshees. Instead, I kind of wasted their lives. And now I finally start my expansion. I'm creeping a little bit better than I did in the first game, and I'm just completely overcompensating with Spore Crawlers. I'm like, I don't like Banshees. I don't want anything to do with them at all. So I'm going to be making a ton of them, and I'm still going to be behind in the SCV count, I'm sure, 14 to 20. And again, this is just one of those things that in time you'll just figure out, and when you play more games, even on that day, you'll make sure that you get it right. But barracks 3 and 4 going down, more Banshees being made for him. He already has 2 on the map, and that will only grow. He is continuing to produce SCVs. I am continuing to drone up pretty hard as I realize I was behind by a ton. Moving the creep tumors when I can. I should even be throwing down a Hydra Den at some point. I do have 2 queens out. Should be getting number 4 and 5 perhaps to deal with this because I have no Hydra Den quite yet. We do have a Spire coming out instead, so it looks like that's going to be my anti-air of choice. He does have 3 Banshees moving across. I do see this, of course, and I should be rallying my queens to do some damage. Looks like they're just out of range, and they were dealing straight-up damage to the Ro8 Warren. Apparently he was fearing them. Dyno not doing too good of a job. Now I bring an Overseer over. He's going to try and do some damage to the Queen. I should be getting a Transfuse off. There we are. And look at that. Just 12 energy left, and he's going to escape with the Banshee, dealing absolutely no damage at all, except for nearly killing off a Ro8 Warren. But we do see very Marauder heavy because of the Roaches. He did not scout the Spire, which may be his undoing, but at this point, I mean, he's economically ahead, at least for the short term. I do have this expansion income-wise. I am beating him, but that's, of course, because he just now started a mule on the field, so that'll be going in his favor really soon. We do have those Raxes that were being constructed, both being outfitted with tech labs, and Super Marauder and a couple Marines. So let's see, did he scan? And no. He did, but he doesn't know what it is unless he clicked on it. Creep spread, again, getting a little bit better, forgetting about it. Tough thing to do, but I do have 5 mutas in production as well as 4 queens on the map, 5 actually. So I'm plenty safe from Banshees. Marauders will tear me a new one, and now he sees that he needs to start making a ton of Marines. And we do see that only Marauders are being produced. The factory was swapped, and we don't have an armory quite in production yet. So no anti-air for him, and it looks like these mutas could not have picked a better time for it. He is making 1 Marine here, yeah, and all the rest are Marauders, at least in a little bit. I'm just going to go straight up after my opponent's economy, and he's going to be moving out with a whole heaping helping of Marauders that will absolutely slay my base. I mean, these things will take out everything and anything, and luckily for me, they do not have Stimpack, because if they did, it would be completely over. You know, SCV-wise, he has none on the map, so I'm just going to be taking these down as fast as possible, and now his Marauders are in my base. I'm going to be 2-shotting queens and, you know, 6-shotting hatcheries and stuff like that, but my mutas will be back to clean it up with some friends, and hopefully I can fend off these Marauders from killing literally all my queens. But it looks like that's not going to be the case. He's going to be able to quickly focus fire them down. We do see that he is trying to rebound and make an SCV, getting a ton of Marines out with a ton of minerals left in the bank. I'm trying to keep mine low, trying to keep producing units, but it's not as easy as the pros make it seem. So these mutas are going to be going out, doing some damage, and we do see that he does have a wonky rally point over here. And I'm just going to go try and take out his base, but unfortunately his Marines are here. They do have Stimpaks now, and if they stim, I could be in a ton of trouble, but luckily he did not use them quite yet. So I'm just going to continue to do damage here, pick off Marines as I can, of course taking heavy muted damage, and I'm not sure what my plan was here, but he calls it, so I'm going to be taking down Game 2, but as I said, I overlooked my opponent here. I wasn't expecting what happens in Game 3, and of course we'll have to take a look at that very shortly.